In the easy days of life and in the easy times in our lives, it's pretty easy for most of us, not all, to center ourselves in gratitude. We look at things with bright, open eyes and see the blessing of experiences and gifts in our lives. We're in a period of Hanukkah, just about to start, which for many kids and families is a time of exchanging gifts. And think about the moment of receiving a gift or giving a gift. There's that moment when it's opened and seen and realized and appreciated. There's that moment when you give it and you watch the person receive it even before they open it. There's this intensity of gratitude, of soulfulness, of connectedness, of joy. But what happens the days after? What happens when the kid and the bicycle are no longer new to each other? What happens when a toy breaks because they've beaten it into the ground? What happens when we, even as adults, are no longer appreciating what we have? I remember an experience when I lived in London in my early 20s, and I had a roommate. I had a spare bedroom. My roommate couldn't afford the rent, and he and his wife, girlfriend, can't remember now, it's a long time ago, my 20s, said, I can't afford the rent, but she's a professional masseuse, or so am I. How about if every week we give you a massage and that was part of the rent? And I said, sure, sounded amazing. So the first 3 or 4 days or weeks, I would come back and I'd have that massage, and it was an amazing end to the work week. But by the 5th or 6th or 7th, I stopped coming home. I started sending them a message. I'm sorry, I'm not going to make it. Don't worry about it this week. It's like drinking champagne every single day. Once in a while, it's extraordinary. But if we have something as rich, wonderful, intoxicating, luxurious as that every day, at some point, it just becomes rote to us. That's human nature. We tend to get bored. Well, why do I say all this? Because gratitude is one of the most fundamental and important qualities that you can either have inherently, might come naturally to you as it does to many people, myself included. I think I'm born with that inclination. I don't have to work as hard as other people do. But I want to say that all of us have to cultivate it. Every single human being has to cultivate gratitude. It's not that we just open our eyes and are awakened to how good it is to be awake. We have to remind ourselves that we're awake, and that is a blessing. If we're religious in our hearts, then we attribute that blessing to some other, to God, whatever we understand God to be, to the universe, to the Creator, to the sustainer of our lives. When we wake up as Jews, we say, thank you, God, for restoring my soul to me, based on that idea that when we get into deep sleep, an element of us shifts and separates from the others, the physical from the spiritual. So in the morning, we don't take for granted that we are alive and integral, that we wake up with that kind of integrity. So we say, thank you. I'm aware that I'm fortunate to be in the game. And what will I do with this day? So in Hebrew, there's an expression called hakarat hatov, which is seeing, recognizing that which is good, which means that it's something that not our eye necessarily does automatically. It's what our brain does behind the eye. The eye sees, but the mind recognizes it to be good. Excuse me, that was a little chocolate that just got stuck there. So let me just remind you of the value of hakarat hatov. It will change your relationship. It will change your relationship to food. It will change your relationship to experiences. It will certainly, even during this difficult time for the Jewish people, change your relationship to the reality of being Jewish. It'll shift you from possibly burden to blessing. It'll shift you from the mundane to the extraordinary. It'll shift you from the ordinary to the extraordinary in human relationship. So I hope this rambling makes some sense. I wish you a happy Hanukkah. If you don't celebrate Hanukkah, I wish you a happy Thursday tomorrow. And if you celebrate another holiday, Kwanzaa, Christmas, whatever it is, may it be holy, sacred, beautiful, uplifting, a wonderful time at this darkened time of the year. May you realize the blessing, have gratitude for the joy of being a light bearer in a world that so desperately needs you.